Hey everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome back to my channel. Glad you're with me today. So I'm getting on because I want to take a look at some health issues. Health issues that, everybody's kind of been talking about a lot lately. For three people, I'm sure you can guess who they are. The first one I want to take a look at is Putin. There's been a lot of rumors about him having Parkinson's disease or blood cancer, that he's going in chemotherapy, his face is bloated, his hands are shaking. Oh my God, what's going on with Vladimir Putin? So let's see what the cards have to say. The second person, of course, our most favorite wackadoodle of them all, Trump. People have been talking about his health for a long time, especially his mental health, his cognitive abilities. But there's, physical health issues as well. So let's check in, take a look at how Trump's doing these days. And finally, let's look at the Queen. So, we know she had COVID. Apparently they're saying that she's been having some mobility issues. She's had to use a walker, or I should say a cane, maybe a wheelchair. And, I did a reading on her, a while back, and, before her Jubilee, which technically is, I thought it was February, but I guess it's not until June, maybe July, but I think it's June, that maybe she'd be taking a different path prior to her Jubilee. So let's see how the Queen's health is doing these days, shall we? So that's what's on deck for today. So we're going to start off with Putin. Vladimir Putin. Now, I don't do a lot of health readings, so this is a little bit experimental for me. Just going to try my best to see if I can pull some health information out of these cards. So let's start with Vladimir Putin. So I think it's safe to say we know something's going on, right? Like I said, shaky hands. There was a picture of him with the blanket on his lap at some event, and everyone's talking about, oh, keep his legs warm. I feel like it was more to keep his legs still. Just some weight on his legs to keep him from moving a lot. He didn't have that blanket open around him like he would for warmth, right? So, and he was also holding one of his hands with the other. So I think he's trying to minimize movement. His face is super bloated. People are talking about medications, chemotherapy. It's pretty clear to me he's had some cheek implants done, some Botox work, some plastic surgery. So it could be that too. Maybe he's just going a little too far with the plastic surgeries or alterations of his face. So anyways, Putin, let's get into Putin's health. I feel like if he is facing a serious health issue, this could explain a little bit his behavior with regards to, this war in Ukraine. If he thinks he's not long for the world, he might be trying to set his legacy before he passes, right? Restore the great Soviet Union. Let that be his lasting legacy. I don't think it's going to turn out the way he's hoping. But it could, explain some of that, right? Okay, so Putin's health. Cards. I'm hoping to show us something for Putin and his health. Okay. Now let's bring it down. Putin's health. All right, let's bring this down here, just a sec. Okay, I'll go ahead and bring it back up here. Let's talk about these cards. So we're opening up here with the Empress. Okay. So the feeling I'm getting with this card is there's There's a naturalness and a gentleness that I'm feeling out of this card. So, and there's a lot of feminine energy here as well with the Empress. And I also get a sense of a cycle of time. So, well, I guess the feeling I'm getting here is there's something very natural about his health. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to summarize this because I've got a couple things in my head. I guess I should also bring your attention to here the mushrooms on this card. You can see those are those poisonous mushrooms, which points to me to poisoning. But being mushrooms, that would be a very natural way to say if someone were going to poison you with mushrooms, right? That would just be, yes, it's poison. It can kill you, but it's natural. That's kind of where I'm going with this, that I don't think it's something overly synthetic or something unnatural that he's dealing with. So I think it's within the realm of being natural, but this mushroom here is leading me to think there's something in his environment that might be toxic. Something is in his environment maybe he's allergic to, toxic more likely. He might not even know that this is in his environment. And, I just got to say with this beautiful woman here, I know that he has a secret, not secret, girlfriend, maybe wife. And she's kind of secreted away, she's not very much in the public eye. It's kind of like an unspoken relationship with this Alina, forget how to say her last name, Gabeva, something like that. Her first name's Alina. So his secret mistress wife, right? And I'm getting the impression like, she stays out of the public eye. They live together in whatever palatial place they live together. He might want to be careful. I hate to, just kind of pulling out of the cards here, but I guess the warning is, be careful of her. This female in your environment, she might be, there might be something in his environment that's making him sick. She might be facilitating that. Or maybe it's just where he lives with her. There's something in the environment. I just see that, everything's very natural. Everything's very gentle, very peaceful. The Empress also represents Russia a lot of times for a lot of readers. So there's a Russia tie there. But it has to do with nature and gentleness, abundance. So I guess where I'm going with this is I'm tying into a female energy there in the place where he probably feels safe and secure. There's something toxic in the environment or something that might be used environmentally, or that might be the place where he feels the safest and most secure. He's not, thinking that where he needs to be careful at home. I'm just saying that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this card. If for his challenge position, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And what this card is telling me, so this is a very masculine energy. You can see the stag, right? With this huge pentacle. This is telling me that he's very stressed out. So the challenge to him and his health is high levels of stress. I'm getting a sense of, the economy, everything that Russia's going through with the sanctions, the war. He's got a lot on his shoulders or on his horns. There's a lot he's responsible for, a lot he has to do. He has to keep up this facade, get his population to go along with all these, with the war and with his propaganda. There's just a lot resting on his shoulders. High levels of stress. Throw in health issues in the mix, makes it even worse. So as we all know, stress is detrimental to our health. And if you have serious illness, high levels of stress is going to aggravate it. So he is not in a position to alleviate his stress, to help his health. He put himself in that position. It's his own damn fault, of course. But as we all know, high levels of stress, very detrimental for your health, most likely aggravating whatever health issues he's going through. Oh, and what do you see down there on the bottom of that card? Could it be another poisoned mushroom? Just saying. Themes, people. Themes. Okay. For the last card in this reading, we have the Knight of Wands. Ooh, look at that dark red, bloody, bloody card. So he's definitely fighting for his life here. He is in the battle. He is fighting it out. There is some sort of health issue he is struggling against. So the ties in with this card I would get with all the red and the streaming lava from that volcano. It very well could be a blood issue. It could very well could have to do with contaminated blood, or, oh God, the word is falling out of my head here. Hold on one sec. Inflammatory was the word I was looking here. So with all that fire, the heat, right? It's all inflamed. There's a lot of inflammation that's going on here. It very well could be blood. This lava is the very, it's like the blood pouring forth out of this volcano. It's hot, it's inflamed, poisoned. And yes, he's struggling against this. He's fighting against it. He is in a battle. He's in a battle for his life. Maybe there are no shrooms on this card, but I think this is telling us about the fight that he's going under, the fighting he's doing for his health and his life right here. Yes, I would say there's a really good chance that this is a blood issue, whether it's cancer or something else. Just a lot of heat, a lot of inflammation. Yeah, a lot of toxicity there. So, I'm not a doctor. I can't pinpoint, obviously, a certain disease. But I would say, if I were to go the super, super easy, basic reading, it's like, oh, this lady is poisoning him. His stress isn't helping out here. And, his health is really volatile. And he's fighting for his life. Okay, that's about as basic as you could get. So I'm just going to leave that there, and let's move on to Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. This guy. All right, let's do a little shuffling. So for Donald, oh my God, we've heard everything from, dementia, Alzheimer's, that he can't control his bladder. He's wearing diapers. He's going crazy. We know he had COVID. And, while he wanted to come out and be like, oh, look, boom, COVID, beat it, no problem. COVID can have long-term effects, and he's not healthy. We understand he's gained a lot of weight since he's left office. Okay, so Donald Trump. What can the cards tell us about his health? Donald Trump's health. All right, let's see, just give it some more shuffling. Donald Trump's health. Okie dokie. Let's bring it on down. Donald Trump, what's going on with you? Yes, he's under legal duress. Yes. Oof. Okay, just one sec. I'll bring you back up. So this one's pretty clear cut, I think. We're starting off here with the King of Swords. So the swords being the air element, it's all about your thoughts, your thinking ability, the clarity and strength of your thoughts. So this is what's presenting for him. So this would indicate to me that it's all about his cognitive abilities, his mental thinking, his logic, his clarity, and most likely we need to read this in reverse. And yeah, he's having some cognitive decline, trouble thinking straight, trouble remembering, forming coherent thoughts and speaking coherently has been a problem for him for a long time. These things are his, this is what we need to be looking at, is his cognitive mental health here. So there's a difference between, obviously mental health and cognitive decline. So, mental health can affect anybody of all ages. There's a whole variety of things that could afflict people, right? Bipolar, schizophrenia, all these kind of mental health, they're very distinct from cognitive decline, like Alzheimer's, for someone who's has all their faculties and now they're experiencing some health issues, and cognitive decline, for example, Dianne Feinstein, right? A lot of talk about her lately. So with Trump, there's just so much there. There's so much there that could go wrong with this guy. So I would say the mental health problems he's had a long time, they're on full display. We all know what they are. I'm asking about a health reading here. So I think this really has to do with more of the cognitive decline. Whatever's going on with him is getting worse. It's getting more severe, more noticeable. He might really be having trouble speaking coherently, thinking clearly, really having his full abilities. And those around him are probably really seeing that right just in their face right now. His challenge with the, is this 7? Sorry, guys. With the 7 of Cups. So many of you may know this is all about illusions and delusions, unclear thinking, not knowing what reality is. And this obviously reinforces the idea of cognitive decline. So he's just delusional. He's been this way for a long time. So this is, I guess, why I was talking about mental illnesses and the decline. For him, they're really hand in hand. So the problems he already had, telling truth from lies, facing reality, understanding what's really going on around him, all of those things are just being exacerbated, made worse. He's just not in full grasp of all of his abilities here. He just can't, he's seeing, there's delusion. He's delusional. It is what it is. It's pretty, again, this is not a big surprise. It's there for everyone to see if you're willing to look clearly. His outcome with the 9 of Swords, more swords, again, reinforcing this is a mental thinking, cognitive issue here. And this is telling us that that it's creating a lot of stress for him, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety. And I think we understand this about sometimes when people do experience this kind of decline, it really changes their personalities. It can make them angry, temperamental, argumentative, hard to deal with. People who used to be very loving, friendly, your mothers, your fathers, you're just your everyday people. These kinds of cognitive declines can just really change who they are, change their personalities, make them combative, right? And argumentative and just hard to deal with. Can you imagine what this must be doing to Trump, who's already just so difficult to deal with, already so full of anger already, so full of anxiety and fear, and just everything that's already wrong with this guy. Any decline he's going through is just going to intensify it, make it worse, and make it harder for him to sort of live through and deal with on a day-to-day basis, much less everyone around him, right? So I think it's really amping up his anxiety, amping up his irritableness, his anger, all those negative traits are just full force and center right here. He must be so difficult to deal with, but it's also difficult to be in his own head. It's difficult for him to deal with. Okay, it's not just him making everyone else suffer. He is suffering. You know, there's probably paranoia, insecurities, the fears, everything that was probably already there. Now he can't control that thinking. And as it becomes more and more deranged and more ill, it's going to, you know, just cause him more and more anxiety, more and more paranoia, more and more of everything he's already experiencing. So not good for him, not good for him, not a big surprise. And, you know, this isn't to say he doesn't have any physical issues, but I think what's forefront for him, what's forefront is his mental faculties. And I'm guessing that everyone around him is seeing it unfold. We know that everyone around him was dealing with it while he was in the White House. But now it's been, you know, 6, 7 years since the start of his administration. So it's just worse. It's just worse. Okay. And who is last? The Queen. The Queen. How's Queen Elizabeth? Hoping the cards tell us something about Queen Elizabeth. How's her health? How's she doing? Is she kind of stabilized, or is she declining? She's missing more and more events. You know, Charles is picking up the responsibilities more and more. Now, I do believe the Queen has already said that she has no plans to retire and give the reign to Charles. I do believe she's been pretty clear that she intends to die on the throne, that she's not going to relinquish the crown. So I think she's made that clear. So we might be kind of, are we seeing the last of it here? Are we seeing the last of it? How will the Queen recover? Will she continue to decline? How is the Queen? I mean, she's 93, maybe 94 if she had a recent birthday. Cards, show us the Queen's health, please. Okay, I'll bring you down for the throw in the cards. How is the Queen's health? Okay. Oh. Well, we're starting off here, bring it back up. We're starting off here with the Six of Wands, which is a victory card. So that's a great card to start off with. So she's had a victory. So right off the bat, she survived COVID, right? I mean, that could have taken her down easy peasy at her age, regardless of what good health she's in. Oh, she survived. She survived COVID. That's great. Her challenge is, how'd this King of Swords get reversed? It was just right side up a second ago, but here it is reversed. So this is telling me there might be some cognitive issues here. She might have a little trouble thinking straight with her memory, thinking clearly, logically. Again, just like I was describing before, this is her challenge, and especially it's appearing upside down here. Mental faculties, there might be some decline, confusion, this kind of thing, okay? For an outcome, we have Temperance. And this is indicating that, yes, she's going to continue to take it easy, continue to step back, kind of go easy on herself, be very moderate in her behaviors, and, you know, probably just moving more of her duties over to Charles. So I feel with the Queen here that she's sort of stable, you know, with this victory over COVID, she's stabilized, but it has left its toll on her, and it does seem to be mostly in the area of the mental. So I'm also starting to think here with the air, the ethers, the gases, the plasmas, there might be some imbalances in her blood, you know, that she might be having to deal with, like maybe a low blood count, or her antibodies are low, or, you know, some element of the blood, that ether, that gas element, which the swords represents. Otherwise, again, mental, memory, clear thinking. She might be just a little confused and just maybe just not up for it anymore. And so, yeah, she's going to have to slow down, take a step back, and rebalance herself, which appears to be what she's doing. So I think she's on the right track. This is definitely not a terrible result like the other two got in their readings. So I think for now, the Queen is stable, shall we just say, stable. Not great, but nothing terrible at the moment. So that is going to be my health readings for today. Hope you found it entertaining. If you did, maybe you could press like down there. I'd really appreciate that. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. I'd love to have you. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in another couple of days. All right? Bye, everybody.